Hi students, today we are going to see the chapter friction, which is the part of 8th CBSE. Now, so let me present you for the same a PowerPoint presentation, so with which we can have more details. Now, yes, now you can see this is the chapter 12, friction. Now, what is friction? Under what category it comes? So, is it a force, or is it a kind of resistance, what we say? So exactly speaking, friction is an opposing force to the movement of an object on any surface. So therefore it comes under the parameter of the force only, that is the physical quantity force. Now, so therefore we can define force of friction here. So what is force of friction? As the name implies, it is a force which opposes the motion of an object over a surface. So whenever any object tries to move on a surface, so there will be a kind of opposing force which is caused because of the irregularities present on the surface. So as such, so we can take friction as the opposing force. The force of friction, now, as we can see here, acts between the object and the surface. So therefore, it is an opposing force, whereas the moment, if it is there, the moment is, the moment is there in one direction for the object. So in the other direction, the frictional force acts. So therefore, force and opposing force, whereas the force we have a particular direction for the moment, the opposing force will be in the opposite direction. So this opposing force is said to be the friction force. Now, so some of the examples, like we can see here, a ball rolling on ground gradually slows down and comes to rest due to force of friction between the ball and of course the ground. So we can see generally because of the irregularities, that is because of the hardness of the surface rather. So the ball which is moving on the ground will come to steady state or rest. So after going to after going for a distance like a certain distance. So after moving a certain distance, definitely it will come to rest because of the frictional force. Now, similarly, the other examples that we can also include here are, you can see, now coming to the by cycling. So in the cycling, we can observe as soon as you stop pedaling a bicycle, so gradually it slows down and it comes to rest. So here also actually the friction force, right? When you stop exerting force on the bicycle, so automatically on the in the reverse direction, because in the forward direction, because we are not applying any force as such, what are the forces that are there in the opposite direction, they prevail. And as such, here the frictional force is the prevailing force in the opposite direction, right, which exists between the tires and the floor, that is the this one ground. So therefore the body, that is here the cycle, comes to rest. Now it's the force of friction between the wheel and the road. Next thing, so here you can see actually there are three figures outlined here. Like one, you can see the base, the ball on the floor, that is on the ground. So this is, as I just told you, the ball on the ground. Actually, it comes to a steady state after going to a certain distance. Okay. Now, so that is totally because of frictional force. So here you can see, though they are not visible on the surface of the ball as well as on the surface of the this one ground, because anyway on the ground we have this one. Yeah, it is small grass actually that is present. So therefore, between grass and the surface of the ball, there exists friction force, which is because of the contact forces. That is, the irregularities will be interlocked. The interlocking effect of the irregularities. So because the irregularities interlock with each other, so the ball comes to rest after moving certain distance. So here you can have a block diagram like this, which can explain the pushing force and the frictional force in the opposite direction, and of course the motion. So the motion is to be there in the direction of the pushing force, so forward direction. Obviously there exists, as and when we try to move an object along a surface. So here you can just, because if you apply pushing force here on the violet block, so because it is actually, it is, we are trying to make it slide on the other surface which is marked with green color. So therefore friction exists between these two surfaces which are in contact. Like here you can see in the reverse direction there is the friction force is applied. So as I just mentioned before, here also, as soon as a cyclist, so in the race, actually as soon as they stop pedaling, it automatically it comes to a rest after going to a certain distance. It doesn't come immediately, but because of inertia of motion, but definitely comes to rest as a result of friction. Now, here what we have to see is what are the factors that affect friction. So it is, when I say affecting, it is actually what are the factors that is affect in the negative sense. Like, now let us see, friction depends on basically two factors. The first one is, it is the nature of the surfaces which are in contact. So it is badly required for us to look at the nature of the surfaces, whether they are smooth, hard, so that matters a lot. Next, that is smoothness of the surfaces, and how hard the surfaces they press each other together. So friction is less on a smooth surface, obviously, whereas if the surfaces are hard enough, then the friction force is also more. So you can see here actually there is a plane surface here. There are plane surfaces, two plane surface. One is inclined and of course other surface. But one object you find here, it is hard object, like the rolling one. In the case of inclined S1, right? Example. So therefore, because of this hardness, actually friction force exists. Now, how it is, so therefore it is important for us to look at how hard the surface is pressed together. So friction is less on a smooth surface. Now here also you can see friction is more on a rough surface. That's what I have been emphasizing. So here you can see the surface is hard enough. So whether it is it may be the other surface number 2 or surface 1. What are the surfaces which are, whether it is not necessarily the one which is rolling or moving on the other surface. It can be even because of the surface that is trying, that is we are trying to roll or slide. So wherever the case may be, we have a friction here. Now, the thing is that you can see here two blocks actually. So where friction is more, if you want to conclude, friction is more if the surface are pressed harder. So obviously because of the weight, definitely they will be pressed harder. So whenever a weight is more, so pressing will be there, hard pressing will be there, and that is the reason why friction force is also more there. So unlike that, here in the second case, we have friction is less if the surface are not pressed that much harder. Now, so therefore, what actually governs that this one hardness, it is end of the day, it is our weight. So weight of the block. In both the cases, you can see based on weight, the friction force arises or causes. Now, cause of friction, you can see what are the causes of friction. So as I just mentioned in the beginning, it is basically due to the interlocking of irregularities. So once actually if you see the irregularities in a microscope, you can clearly find the interlocking effect. So therefore, otherwise it is not visible to the naked eye. So if you go through, yes, if you go through a microscope, we can easily identify the interlocking effect between the irregularities of both the objects which are in contact. So smooth surfaces have minute irregularities between the two surfaces, and rough surfaces will have large irregularities. Obviously, so for force of friction is more in the case of surfaces which are rough. Now, these are the causes of friction. So let me again re-emphasize, friction is basically caused due to the interlocking of irregularities. Next. So here you can have a picture of it. So here it's very clearly seen. So whereas on a wooden block, there is, when again see, there is a big wooden block on which a small wooden block is moving. So when you are just trying to slide or move, when a wooden block is trying to move on another one, you can easily see here the irregularities which are in the shape of a blade rather. Now you can see the irregularities, they interlock with each other actually. So because they interlock, so no longer movement is possible. The irregularities fix into each other. So therefore the further movement is stopped. So that's what frictional force is. Now, how many varieties of friction we have basically? If you look at, we have basically three types of friction. One is static friction, then we have sliding friction and rolling friction within the scope of our curriculum. Now, so there are basically three types of friction. One is static friction, and the second one is you have sliding friction and rolling friction. Let us see, as the name implies, what static friction is. Now, it is a friction that is exerted on an object which is at rest. When I say static, it is obviously which is at rest. So second one is sliding friction, as the name implies. Again, the friction caused when one object is trying to slide over the other object or other surface rather. Now rolling, see, sliding and rolling, there is a slight difference here. We have to mention. When you push the object, okay, because when two objects are in contact and when you try to slide one object on the other, so therefore initially there will be some frictional force. So the force that you apply may or may not be sufficient to have some sliding of the object. So still if you apply further force, then it may slide. So that's how the cases will be. So so here what we can say is sliding friction is the friction exerted when an object slides over the surface. That means compulsorily the force that is exerted must must dominate the frictional force. Unless and until it overcomes the frictional force, so it will not slide. So therefore that is the condition, that is the mandatory rule for the sliding friction, the condition, right? Now, third one being a rolling friction, as the name implies again, it's a friction exerted when an object rolls over surface. So after sliding comes rolling friction, because once sliding starts, then only one will be able to just roll it. So there is this difference is there. So as far as magnitudes are concerned, we have rolling friction is less than sliding friction, and sliding friction again in static friction. So that's how, because once the object comes to sliding, then it is easy for us to just see to it that it gets rolled. So that's how, that is the reason why rolling friction is always less than sliding friction. Otherwise, as long as the object, so because of its own weight maybe, so as long as the object is not at all moving because of the weight, so and the static friction so is being applied there, so we can easily infer, right? So therefore, because of its own weight, there exists some friction. So unless and until you dominate with the force, pushing force, we cannot make it move. Now, see, you can easily see here actually the person is just trying to move a fragile here that is weighing 32 kg. Yes, no, the direction in which it is pushing, you can see here at an angle of 21 degrees to the actually horizontal. So at that angle he is pushing, and you can see other examples where the friction would be, what kind of friction will be there. So here, as I just told you, based on the surfaces and interlocking of the surfaces, we can easily assess. Now here, because 32 kg pushing a 32 kg object, generally, yeah, for a moderate person, it is possible, but initially it will take its own frictional force, that is like static friction. Once he overcomes that static friction, then only he'll be able to slide. So the other one you can see on the yellow inclined plane, we have an object like this. It rolls actually. So you can see one is static, then sliding, and of course rolling. Objectively, in the third case, actually it rolls. It is rolling. So because even you can look at that in the park, the boy is playing with some, yeah. So you can see the boy here actually who is just, no, he's sliding rather. So here also moderate friction will be there, and that is the reason why he comes very slowly. Now, the thing is that friction, exactly whether it is useful or not, what are the uses of friction? Does friction need to be there? If you look at those things, we can conclude the following points. Thing is that friction is useful for many of our daily activities. Without friction, we cannot live. So it's very difficult to live our livelihood without friction. So because friction between, you can see between the feet and ground helps us to walk on the ground. So even so, for walking also on the ground, actually you need a friction force, because unless and until there is some friction on between the feet and the ground, otherwise we'll sleep. No, because of otherwise we get slipped down, and our feet will be slip and we'll fall down. So definitely it's required. Friction force is required, and other things are like. It's possible to write with a pen. Again, the friction force is not there, even we cannot write with a pen on a paper. Now, lastly, we can see it is possible to write on a backboard, again due to the friction between the chalk and the backboard. So these are the things. Now, friction between the tires and the road helps automobiles to move on roads. Yes, obviously. So as I just told you, just like how we are moving with the friction. So without friction, we cannot move and simply slip down. So here also friction between the tires and the road helps automobiles to move on the roads. That is the reason why while manufacturing, so industries generally take care. They take some measures while manufacturing these tires and all, chiefly. So because anyway, road actually R&D and other personnel actually they take their own measures, but here as far as tires are concerned, you can see the interlocking. So without because to avoid such frictions actually, it is made with you can see some of the on the tire also you find some different slots, right? So that's how tires are manufactured. So friction between the bricks helps in the construction of buildings. Otherwise, again, the building gets collapsed. So therefore, friction between bricks also is also there. Like everywhere, friction is helpful to us. Now, you can see here, as I just quoted, or some of the examples: to touch a glass of water, to write on the blackboard, to walk on the floor, to construct a building, and just for tires to move on the road. Even for a simple thing like writing with a pen on the paper is also due to friction. So friction is not there. No, none of these things can be achieved. Now, so therefore, not what we have. The next thing what we have to look at is friction is sometimes undesirable. Not in all cases. Sometimes friction is totally undesirable. So let us see what are the examples. See, if you look at the soles of the shoes, wear out, they're due to friction. Yes, obviously, because if much friction is there, soles actually they don't have long aging, so they don't have good aging. So as a result, actually, the soles of the shoes I'm talking about. So because of the friction, they totally wear. The wear and tear of the shoes is only because of the friction force. So very fastly they get spoiled. Now things of tires of bicycles and automobiles wear out due to friction. Again, as if you constantly apply brakes. Okay, so tires get the wear and tear very fastly as if the friction is more. Similarly, steps of staircases and foot over bridges. That is the thing. So here in railway stations where actually they wear out due to friction. Steps of staircases and foot over bridges in railway stations. They wear actually again they wear out due to friction. So this also is one of the examples. Like what we observe is, so because we are looking at undesirable cases, right? So undesirable cases actually steps of staircases and foot over bridges in railway stations they wear out due to friction. Again, because of continuous friction, continuous application of friction, this is the things like staircases, the wear and tear is more, and foot over bridges the wear and tear is more, right? Knives and razors lose their sharpness basically because of friction. So therefore, we cannot use a blade maximum more than twice or thrice because the sharpness gets lost because of the continuous friction force. Yes, this is what we have seen as a result of just on whatever we have discussed. Now you can see here, you can see the sole of a shoe here. Actually, it is damaged, and you can see in the case of automobiles, tires and tubes because of friction. So all got affected, and the knives also they may see they lose their sharpness, and in the case of Yeah, in the case of staircase also, because of maximum usage of because of maximum usage and friction force, you can see how slippery is it. The totally the friction because it seems very slippery here. Okay, because of the wear and tear of the steps. So because unless and until there is friction, we cannot have. So these are the things where it is not at all desirable. Now, finally, we have some of the slides like increasing friction and decreasing friction. So these are some of the slides we have to look at. Now, how to increase this friction if required? Friction can be increased by increasing the roughness of the surfaces, obviously, as we discussed. So therefore, it is about surfaces. Now, the soles of the shoes are grooved to have. So that's the reason why they are grooved to have a better grip on the floor. Similarly, the tires of vehicles are also treated. They are treaded razors again. Some of them are grooved and some of them are treaded to increase the grip on the road. Otherwise, they get slipped, so which result in accidents. The brake pads of vehicles actually are rough to stop moving vehicles when the brakes are applied. So that is also we can very much witness. We can see it's very important for us because if they are slippery, it's very dangerous. So the brake pads of vehicles are rough to stop moving vehicles when the brakes are applied. This very important thing that we have to highlight here. Now, gymnasts apply some coarse substance like on their hands, particularly. You might have looked actually. You might have observed in the case of weight lifting. They before lifting some weight, so because it may be slippery, that is the reason why they apply kind of sand. Okay, some actually coarse substance. So before gymnasts, particularly to avoid that slipping nature. So this is the things actually you can see. Yes, the grooves you can see on the soles of shoes. You can also see on the tires also. Yes, treading of the tires. Okay, different slots, whatever. Next one, you can see here just in an automobile only actually how slots, different treading techniques are employed. This is particularly, yeah, to avoid to reduce the friction. To reduce the friction in automobiles, they take special care, particular care. Now coming to gymnasts and all, whatever, they apply some coarse material or instance, substance. Finally, you can also see in the same and similar lines, right? Next one. Now, once we see increasing the friction, because at times it is required for us to increase, and at times it is required to reduce the friction. So, what are the cases? Now, using lubricants definitely we can see because that is the first thing that we have to employ. So, if you use lubricants, friction will be reduced, and as a result, your operation will be smooth. Using rollers or wheels, again they reduce the friction. So yes, that is the reason why on the cricket ground you can easily see some rollers, and the rollers or wheels will be there. So continuously, so using of rollers and wheels reduce the friction, and ball bearings. Whether it is with respect to our domestic electric appliances like fan and all, or even in any other case, in any electric appliance, we have ball bearings to avoid friction. So for smooth operation, we need ball bearings. Next, we sprinkle powder and carom board to reduce the friction. We generally observe this phenomenon. So because while playing caroms, actually we apply first this one powder only to avoid the friction. Otherwise, the coins will not move smoothly. Thing is that oil or grease is applied between the moving parts of machines, whatever the industry may be, whether it is automobile or any other industry for that matter. So oil or grease is applied between moving parts of machines to reduce the friction. Now rollers are used in luggages. Yeah, again. So nowadays we can easily see rollers are there. So which are used in luggage bags to reduce the friction. Otherwise, it's very difficult to move the luggage. So because of the less contact, you can see here actually the contact of the wheel and the surface is very less. So as a result, when surface area is less actually, so going forward, we'll come to know in the different lessons, right? So the contact area would be less, and as a result, friction will be less. So that's one thing you have to very clearly identify. As soon as and as long as your surface area contact is more, so friction will be more. So wheels are used in vehicles to reduce the friction. Yes, we have. Now, what are the vehicles maybe? Nowadays, wheels are compulsory. No, in each and every case, a small item is also having wheels. Ball bearings are used in ceiling fans, bicycles, and vehicles to reduce the friction. Now, this is what we can just now discussed. Ball bearings, if you have not seen, you can see here ball bearings. So which are employed in domestic electric appliances like fans. So again, you can see how they actually, with respect to automobiles, how you can reduce the friction by using lubricants. Not only that, in caroms also, powder, applying powder and all. Here you can see a baggage with some wheels present. Now, lastly, a topic called fluid friction we have. What is that fluid friction? Let us just define. Fluid friction is the force of friction exerted by liquids and gases on objects moving through them. So it's not only the solids that produce friction, but again fluid friction, because fluid can be either a liquid or a gas. Therefore, the name implies, right? So friction exerted by liquids and gases on the objects moving through them. Now, fluid friction depends on what factors? Now, the speed of the object, and the shape of the object, and nature of the fluid. Very, very important. The speed and shape of the object. Now, and the nature of the fluid. So here the nature of the fluid actually is playing a good role, vital role, right? Now, let us go in detail. Like birds flying in air have streamlined body to reduce fluid friction because they move in air. So now, because they have streamlined body, you can see how they reduce pressure, right? How they overcome this pressure, and how friction, force, and how they just move on with ease. Now, fishes living in water have streamlined body to reduce fluid friction. A lot of pressure will be there on the fishes underneath the sea or any other water body. So therefore, again, the fishes also live in water with a streamlined body to reduce the friction. Aeroplanes and spacecrafts have streamlined body to reduce fluid friction. Again, so see, you can easily see for the manufacturing and design of an aeroplane, that is, yes. So because with less area, they will be manufactured. Okay, so that is how the friction force can be reduced. This is what I just discussed now in aeroplanes, and yeah, basically two things: how the birds and other thing, yeah, others like they manage this friction, and even fishes for that matter. Now you can see one example here, like in the case of space, that is in the case of spacecrafts. Here also you can see, not only in the first example on the top, here also in the case of launching of satellites or space missions. So you can see the design of the aircraft, which occupies less space, so that if the area is less, obviously, okay, so we can avoid, because with much pressure, okay, pressure is equal to, because force per unit area, which we are going to learn in the next topic. So therefore, thrust and pressure, right? So with minimized area of exposure, we can have and reduce friction. So this is all for the day of friction. So I think you people might have enjoyed it. What is friction and how many varieties of friction are there? Because we have seen three types of friction: static, sliding, and rolling friction. Then we have seen the base uses and disadvantages. Friction is really useful or not. In different cases, we have observed where it is useful and where it is not. Then we have seen increasing and decreasing of friction. And finally, we have seen a typical case where fluids, okay, so where fluids prevail, like in the case of fluids, what can be the friction. So this is all for today's, and hope you enjoyed. All the best.